Hello and good morning, friends. Today is our class on the differences between state and various other associations, other organizations. So, in previous class, we learned a lot about what is a state and how it is made, how it is created, and the essential elements that are needed for the existence of a state. So today we are going to learn the various differences between state and association. So what you will learn from this class is the difference between state and other associations, state and society, and state and government. Many people tend to see this idea that state is actually government, but these two are also two different organizations. State is different and government is different also. So we are going to learn that, and we are going to learn all three of them. So be focused and let's start the class. The first thing that we are going to distinguish state from is association. So associations are various kind of association you will see, like the farmer groups, or like the chamber of commerce, or many other kind of religious associations, or casteist associations, or feminist associations, all around you. These associations are different from state. And how they are different: the first thing is the membership of a state is compulsory, but that of the association is voluntary. If you are living in India, you're Indian citizen, so you must be the member of the Indian Union. Or if you're living in America, you must be the member of the American Union, otherwise you will be thrown out someday. But so it is compulsory, but in the case of association, it is voluntary. You want to be the member of some group, some association, or you do not want to be the member of that association. It's completely up to you. So it's a voluntary participation. Basically, it's a choice whether you want to be part of a group or you do not want to be a part of the group. Second thing is, one can be a member of one state only, but of many associations. So I think this is also pretty much clear in itself. If you are an Indian citizen, you're only a citizen of India. You cannot be a citizen of India and a citizen of United States at the same time. But in the case of association, you can be a member of a farmer group, you can be a member of a feminist group, you can be a member of a caste group, you can be a member of some other kind of association like chamber of commerce or some industrial group, or worker union. You can be member of more than one group. You can be a religious group member as well. But in the case of the state, you can only be the member of one state at a time. In order to become the member of some other state, you have to relinquish your membership of your previous state. But in the case of an association, you can become member of as many associations as you want. There is no such limitations in the case of association. I think that's also quite easy for you to grasp, I guess. Now let's see the fourth point here. Territory is essential for the state. Actually, it's the third point though. Okay, so let's focus. Territory is essential for the state and not for the association. In the previous class, we learned that territory means a fixed portion of land, a fixed area, and it is how much essential it is for the state. But for the association, territory is not essential. Association is not really connected with the territory idea. An association can be completely online based. There are multiple online forums where people talk to each other, they participate in various programs. So, but they're all living in various parts of the world, and there is no fixed territory. So territory is essential for the state but not for the association. The next point is state is sovereign but associations not. State has the sovereignty. The will of the state is supreme. Okay, whatever the state wants to do, it can do. There is no other power up and above it. There is nothing beyond the state. But is it the case with association? Can you say this? Can you see this clearly, that the association is not sovereign? Association has to work in accordance with the will of the state. Okay, for an example, let's see, there are various associations or terrorist groups. There is like this Al Qaeda group, there is Indian Mujahideen, and different kind of multiple like ISIS, these kind of terrorist groups. They are also some sort of associations. There people there, they have some sort of ideology, and they're together, they try to do some things, but they are not legal. And who determined this? Who decided on their legality? It was state. And when state decided that these associations are not good, they're not legal, these associations were clarified as illegal associations and they were declared terrorist groups. So that proves that the power of the state is sovereign and the association has to work in accordance with the state's rules. And if it breaks any of the rules of the state has the power to declare it illegal and wage war against it. Next thing is, state is permanent, but associations are temporary. There may be some sort of association that is made only for some certain kind of task, and when that task is completed, the association may be dissolved. But state is something that keeps going on. One government comes, then the other government comes, then the next government comes, or the government repeats, but the state stays. But in the case of associations, when the aim of certain association is completed, that association may be dissolved. Next thing is, state is superior to the association. This is also self-clarifying itself. Look at this point. State is superior. You can try to combine it with this one. The state is sovereign, but association is not. In the same way, state is superior to other associations. State can close other associations. But can any other association close state? Can any other association declare that, all right, state is not good, let's close state? No. But the state can decide this association is not good for humanity or for my law or for the people of the state, and I'm going to declare this illegal and I'm going to close its offices and confiscate its property. That is the power of the state. That proves the state is superior to other associations. And the last point is, sources of income are different. How does the state gets its income? How does it get it? It gets its income in the way of taxes. State can impose taxes. The biggest form of income for the state are taxes. Income tax or GST or excise duty and certain kind of other taxes that like the professional tax or agricultural tax that can be imposed by the state. But no association can impose taxes. The only way association earn money by voluntary donations. So that is a big difference between the sources of income of state and association. So I think this should be clear by now that associations and states do very different things. That takes us to our next point, that is state versus society. How is state different than society? Society, I think you all understand, we live in a society. First we create a society. When humans are living in an area, there are multiple humans, so they are living in a society. A society can be of various religious groups, it can be of various kind of people can live in a society. It is not limited to one type. Society is actually very bigger concept than the state. So we are going to check these 6 points and going to understand why state and society are two different things. Society was prior to state. Society came first, and then humans decided that we need a government, we need a common authority, we need to get organized, we have to work in accordance to our common collective actions, and then the concept of state came. So first, whenever people start living, like 10 people, 15, 20 people or 1000 people are living somewhere, they are part of a society. But they may not be politically active, and when they become politically active, then they make a state. So society is first and then is the state. Second thing is, scope of society is wider than that of the state, is basically a political unit. While society can be religious, it could be social, it could be educational, it could be ethnic, society's scope is way wider than that of the state, is basically a political unit, but society is more than just political. Territory is essential for the state and not for the society. How? In the previous class, I gave you an example of Israel. The people of Israel before 1948, the Jews were living scattered all around the world. They were not a state because they were lacking territory. But they were still a society. They were still Jewish society. So in order for a society to exist, it is not necessary for it to be stay in a particular fixed area. A society can exist in multiple groups in multiple places. So territory is essential for the state, but not for the society. Now again, the membership of the state is compulsory, but of society is voluntary. A person can decide to live outside, stay outside of the society, wants to live in solitude, wants to live in a forest area, he doesn't want to be part of a society, is completely free. But if you want to live in a country, we want to live in a state, you have to become the member of that state. And fifth thing is, again, state possesses sovereignty. We also learned this in the previous slide. State has ultimate power, society doesn't have ultimate power. And the power of punishment, if anyone breaks the rule of the state, then the state can punish him, but the society cannot actually punish him. And even if the society tries to punish, it will be illegal. The best the society can do is to criticize, put some kind of moral pressure, or declare something unethical, but it is the ultimate and sole power of the state to punish somebody and declare something illegal. So the power of punishment is also one of the factors that distinguish between state and society. I hope that is also clear, and that moves us to the last of our today's topic, and that is the difference between state versus government. It's highly important because many people tend to somehow mix them both up. They think the state is actually government or government is actually state, but these two are two different things. Government is only a part of the state, while state is a big element. We learned yesterday that in order for a state to exist, there are four elements and they are all needed, and they were area, population, government, and sovereignty. So that means government is only a part of it, while the state is a whole. It's a big thing, while government is only a part of it. So if a state is a car, government is only the steering. It is one of the most important thing, but it is not the whole body. The whole body is state and government is only a part of it. Second point, state is abstract but government is concrete. State doesn't have a complete shape, or it has to be like this, it has to be like that. It is not like that. It can be of different types. It can have a small population, it can have a big population, okay? But yes, those four things are going to be necessary. Those four things are completely concrete. But other than that, state can be abstract. But government is concrete. Government is one way. Government is that organ of the state that expresses the will of the state. Just like I said, in the car, the position of the government will be of the steering wheel, because the government is that wheel that somehow can give the direction to the car. We will understand this point in further examples, in further classes, when we will have more on this particular subject. Now moving to the next point, state is permanent, government is temporary. We can see in every day, in all around the world, even in India, we saw that in 2000s there was this government of NDA, then for 10 years there was the government of UPA, Congress-led coalition, and then for previous 6 years we have this BJP NDA government again. So the governments can change. Government is temporary, but state is permanent. India was there back then too, and India is here today too, and India will be here tomorrow too. Trump was president for 4 years. Before that, 8 years was Obama, and now there will be Joe Biden. But what is permanent? America is permanent because America is state. State is permanent, government is temporary, government can change. Next point is state is uniform. For a state to be exist, there are four essential elements that are needed. Okay, that is a uniformity throughout the world. Wherever there is a state, these four elements are existing. But government may be of different types. How? In India, we have parliamentary system. We have a prime minister. In United States, we have a presidential system. We have a different type of government there. There is a president that is the executive. In China, there is a whole different kind of government. It's a communist regime where there is only one party system. In Israel, there is proportionate representation where you do not get your seat because you win a seat. You only get seats according and in the proportion of how many votes you get. So it's a different kind of governments in different kind of states. But the uniformity is of the state is permanent, but the governments may be of many types. Then we also learned that membership of the state is compulsory. You want to live in India, you have to be the member of India. But just because you are living in India, you do not have to be the member of the government. How many people are the member of the government? Not everyone is the member of the government, but still they are the member of the state. So that is also, the membership is also a distinguishing factor between state and government. You can be or cannot be the member of the government, but you must be the member of the state. And the last point is, government may be disobeyed but not the state. That means what? You might have seen multiple type of protest against government proposes a bill, government takes an action, people do not like it, they get out on the road, they protest, they completely disobey the government, they say that whatever the government is doing is wrong. Yes, the government can take multiple kind of forceful actions too, but that's a whole different story. But what is the basic point is here, that the people have this right to protest. Okay, government has made some rules, not every rule is followed, many people break the rule, then the government come and punish them, but there is a chance of disobeying government, there is a chance, there is a right to come out on the streets and protest against the government. But have you ever seen something like protesting against the state? Okay, we do not want state, let's just break everything, let's just break the government, let's just break the population, let's just bring about the end of the state. Have you ever seen that? You never see that. People are not against the state, people are only against that driving wheel of the car that is giving its direction. So government may be disobeyed but not the state. So we have learned all of these three things today, three basic things that we learned and differences between them. So I hope this must be clear, state of the association. So there are a few things that are common, like the membership or the territory or the superiority and the sovereignty. These four things can be used in all of them, they are common. Other than that, these are something that are available, you see them every day, you only have to feel them and you will actually understand. So do revise this, make sure that you revise it, do a revision and you will understand it better. So thank you and see you in the next class. And you can also enroll by subscribing to the channel, so you will not miss the next class and next lecture. This was our second class and we will be back for the third class. Thank you.